Calaroga Shark Media.
Hey there, I'm Johnny Mack with your daily comedy news, a daily briefing on stand-up comedy, comedians, and the comedy industry. We have a new trailer from Nikki Glaser. Nikki's special will be out on Hulu on April 24th. In her special, Nikki Glaser delivers a brutally honest take on aging, beauty, and fame, confronting what it means to stay relevant, desirable, and real in a culture that never looks away. Here's the trailer. I think the material is actually better than the trailer. I think they edited the trailer too tightly. Let's listen.
Thank you for being here. Every single person in here, you mean so much money to me. I am cleaning up tonight. I'm 41. My career's going great now, but I know eventually Hollywood is going to kick me out because I'm going to do something horrible, like age naturally. That's me too for women. Every single woman loves good girl. And guys don't want to say it because they're like, it sounds like I'm her dad. And it's like, exactly. Okay, just be my dad. It's not a good sign when you tell your therapist something and they go, whoa. I have sympathy for ugly people. I see you, and I don't want to. Perfect. I do wonder sometimes because of my thoughts, I'm like, am I a sociopath? And then ChatGPT is like, no, queen, you're perfect. And I'm like, you're my best friend.
Nikki was on Armchair Expert. She says having the means to change your appearance can make it harder to opt out. She says, I'm kind of obsessed with this thing of like looking a certain way gets you stuff in life and how it's unfair if you're not just born gorgeous. But then now there's this whole thing that you can become gorgeous with enough money. Now, I was going to editorialize, and I guess I am right now, that, boy, that sounds horrible. But Nikki Glaser continued, said, this sounds so horrible, and I would hate listening to this if I were not financially doing so well. But there's a burden that comes with the money that you could do whatever you want to look the way that you're like, I'm failing because I'm not doing the BBL and the facelift and the lasers. This does not read well. Let me pull the clip. I'll be right back. We got to hear Nikki say this because this does not read well. Hold on. Okay, I'm back. I'm sorry. I tried. So Apple Podcasts has transcripts, but you can't search the transcript, and this episode is 1 hour, 54 minutes. I just skimmed it, and I can't find the quotes to let you hear Nikki say it herself. But I can tell you, as I scrolled through the transcript, it looks like it's a pretty interesting conversation, so I'm looking forward to actually listening to it. Jumping back in, Nikki said it's hard not to wonder what more she could achieve if she met those beauty standards more fully. Nikki Glaser said, if you were prettier, think of what you could get. Because I don't think my career and my success is based solely on my talent. It's based on looking good on TV, too. Nikki said it's unrealistic to ignore how much looks matter in the industry because it works. The hotter you are, the more you don't have to work. That is true. I keep talking about this in the podcasting industry as we all debate the video podcasts and all. And you're listening to me right now, and I appreciate that you like it. But at the end of the day, even if I like trick out a set here, I'm still a 56-year-old man somewhere between Troll and George Clooney reading comedy headlines. It's not that visually interesting. And right now I'm wearing a gray hoodie. And what kind of baseball cap am I wearing today? I got to take the headphones off to tell you. I'm wearing my Tigers hat that my daughter got me when she visited Detroit one time. You know, so Nikki Glaser's a little easier on the eyes than I am, especially this morning. I digress. Dan Soder will have his first Netflix comedy special. He will tape it June 13th at the Throckmorton Theater in San Francisco. It is Soder's first full Netflix special. He did have a 30-minute set on the stand-ups in 2017. He has a few other specials released on other platforms, not special on Comedy Central. Son of a Gary on HBO, Dan Soder on the Road on YouTube, so this is his first one on Netflix. The Chronicle caught up with the Gator, Pete Correale. I knew Pete pretty well. He was the co-host of Jim Breuer's radio show back in the SiriusXM days. Pete hates the nickname the Gator, but I'm sticking with it. Jim Breuer gave it to him because Pete's got big teeth, and you never know when he's going to bite you, which is just the best description of the Gator. Pete said, I'm clean in the sense that I don't talk about any kind of filth sexually and nothing offensive like that, but I'm an adult who'll drop an F-bomb here and there just because I'm an adult. So I'm clean in the way most people are clean. But, you know, I curse. What am I going to stop? It's like these comics that don't curse on stage. What do they stay at home when they're stubbing their toe? They just go, ouch. Get the bleep out of here. I love Pete. Pete's a fun guy, but he is the Gator. He will bite you. Oh, I'll tell you a story. I heard from listener Chris. Chris likes when I tell the story. So we're out in Aspen, and we were staying at the Comedy Condo. So staying together, it's me, Brewer, and Correale. Now, we all know Jim's public persona back in the day as a stoner, which is accurate. Pete also enjoys some stuff, and Johnny Mack lives clean. And Pete asked me to hold for him for a little while. And I was like, all right, I'm a cool guy. I could do that for you. And then he was like, nah, I was just testing to see how cool you were. So that's Pete. Love Pete. He talked about Sebastian Maniscalco. Pete opens for Sebastian often, especially last year on the arena tour. Correale said, Sebastian's fame is so beyond the podcast. It's like sometimes when we're playing arenas and he posts about the podcast, most of his fans don't even know he has one. It's the exact opposite, whereas all of my fans are podcast fans. When we started, he wasn't famous, but he was getting popular, so doing it with him obviously put eyes and ears on me, which helped me in a lot of ways because I'm not so great at self-promoting. It's like not my thing. But through the years and the fact that we kept doing it, which is like fantastic, the podcast has become so much more. It's a way that we come up with bits from talking to each other, and it's almost therapy, affecting so many people in so many different ways. It's kind of mind-blowing. Pete will soon, if he hasn't already, released a new stand-up special on his Patreon. He said, I'm going to put it out there first for free for all the loyal listeners, and then I'm going to work from there. But truth be told, I didn't even shop at all these streamers anymore. Everyone in the industry has been telling me very few people watch a full special anymore. They watch the clips, so the special's coming out, but more importantly, the clips will start dropping like hot flies soon. A guy recently said to me, and I thought this really summed it up, bottom line, you go see Pete Correale do a stand-up comedy show, you're going to laugh all night long, have a good time, no one's going to be offended. Pete said, I was like, oh, perfect. I tell you, people are really wigged about this Byron Allen deal that CBS sold the 11:30 and 12:30 time slots to Byron Allen for his, what is it even called? I don't even care. No one's going to watch it, and no one cares. CBS doesn't care. Instead of losing money at 11:30, they'll make some money. They don't have to worry about it. Byron Allen fills 2 hours a night. Byron Allen is a smart dude. He's made a lot of money in TV. He owns the Weather Channel. He's figured out how to make money, whatever that comedy thing is called. It doesn't matter who watches it. He'll turn a profit on it. CBS makes some money. It's all good. You don't have to watch. You can hate. Has TV gone to hell? Yes. Has CBS gone to hell? Yes. Has CBS News gone to hell? Yes. Is the country crazy? Yes. So don't worry about it. Star Trek Ruiner, Stephen Colbert's show is ending. Watch Fallon or Kimmel or watch Letterman clips on YouTube. Just don't worry about it. People continue to be upset that Louis CK is headlining the Netflix is a Joke Comedy Festival and will have a special on Netflix. Eliza Skinner wrote a piece. I will use her headline, which was Famous Dicks are just a tip of the problem. Eliza writes, I don't know what to tell you. Should I tell you about the headliner who told me my breasts were too hot to be funny before I even said a word? Or about the host at a comedy club who told the audience he'd love to smell my area after I got off stage? Should I tell you about the accompanist who followed me home twice? Or the comedy theater that refused to stop booking us together because these things always seem to happen to you, Eliza? Should I mention I was the only woman there? Should I tell you about the friend who got shoved in a wall by her boyfriend backstage in front of a crowd of silent onlookers? Or the friend who was told she was too unbangable, I'm cleaning this up, to get past industry speak for being promoted through the tiers of the clubs? Should I start with the friend who went public with her domestic abuse story while her male peers muttered about it helping her career? Or the friend who has been the victim of years of targeted harassment for simply talking about being a lesbian too much in her act? Eliza Skinner continues, I fear none of the stories matter because none of them have famous penises in them. But they are all part of the same, and I desperately want you not to limit your interest to the famous penises. Look past the famous penises. They're just the tip of the iceberg, pun fully intended. Skipping ahead, she writes, I'm angry for the women we've lost and whose work we'll never see. I'm angry with myself for every time I listen when someone called another woman crazy or difficult, even though I knew it was code for she didn't do what someone wanted. I'm angry about all the times I've been called difficult or crazy by men who later privately apologized while doing nothing to help repair my damaged reputation. I'm angry about all the things I didn't know happened. I'm angry I have to think about this and to fight about it, and all I want to do is make jokes. Louis CK headlining the Hollywood Bowl as part of the Netflix is a Joke Comedy Festival, May 5th. Dint, 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 dint. Comedy stock market. Hey, John, what happened to the comedy stock market theme? Well, dear listener, that is a great question at this particular minute. Now, hopefully I have a backup on the computer somewhere, but in this session that I use all the time to record daily comedy news, the track labeled stock is blank. Now, I could go find it and put it in, but that's not fun. This is much more fun. All right, every week on the comedy stock market, here is how this works. And I really need to do the disclaimer up front so you understand how this works. Much like on the real stock market, we try to find value. We buy low and we sell high, because I'm going to have a controversial stock pick in a second here. We buy low, we sell high, we buy low. The idea is to find the value. We are not saying that these people are good or bad, and we are definitely not saying these are the most honorable people that we've ever met. Have you figured out where we're going here yet? But we're just trying to find value. So I've got a sell and 3 buys for you. My sell is Nikki Glaser. I think we're at peak Nikki Glaser, and I just feel there's a track record of the Hulu specials not being so awesome. Maybe there's a little value to be found as Nikki starts doing a lot of press for these next 2 weeks, but I feel like we should sell our Nikki Glaser. If you want to scoop some up and sell it in a couple days, I don't think you're crazy, but I think I'm going to cash out on Nikki Glaser's stock. And here are my buys. Do you want the awful one first or third? Should I just get it out of the way? All right, let's get it out of the way. We are going to buy Louis CK. Now stop throwing tomatoes at me. It's the comedy stock market. We find value. We're at the bottom of CK, and Netflix has decided it's okay to bring him back in the fold, and he's going to play the theater, and we're going to get a lot of press about him, and there's going to be think pieces saying how awesome he is. There's going to be some think pieces saying how horrible he is. And this is when you scoop up the value. So we'll buy some Louis C.K. Let's also buy some Dan Soder. Now that he's got a Netflix special, if you know Dan, you know he's fantastic. He's been around for a while, but there's just something about that Netflix brand of they're just bigger than the others, and they put somebody in front of everyone, and then everyone's like, hey, do you know this Dan Soder guy? And the rest of us are like, yeah, for 20 years, but welcome to the party, pal. So let's buy some Dan Soder, and let's buy some Gator. Let's buy some Pete Correale. I like what we're hearing from Pete, and hopefully his new special and his clips do well, and he's got a Sebastian Maniscalco halo around him. All right, so we're going to sell Nikki Glaser, we're going to buy Dan Soder, we're going to buy Pete Correale, and you can get mad, but we're going to buy some Louis C.K. Jenny Zigrino is going to be recording a live taping of Afterbirth, her solo show, described as an unflinching, darkly funny exploration of what it means to be an old self and painfully, messily bring a new one into the world after loss. She's recording at the Brooklyn Improv. May 13th, 2 shows, 7 and 9:30 p.m. Have you been watching Jury Duty 2 Company Retreats? I love Jury Duty. The second one just feels like bad episodes of The Office. I tried 2-3 times. I just can't get into it. So one bonus episode is The Reunion, hosted by James Marsden. The other is called The Meeting, which features Season 1's Ronald, the guy that didn't know it was a show, and Season 2's Anthony, the other guy that didn't know it was a show, meeting up at an LA coffee shop for a candid conversation about their unique shared experience, which is what you have at a coffee shop in LA where there just happen to be cameras and lighting. It's totally natural. As the only 2 people that have lived through this social experiment, they exchange personal stories and perspectives on how the experience has impacted their lives. This reminds me to mention LOL UK. I did finish it. Didn't love the ending, to be honest. You had a week. But I do really love that show. And I keep playing around in my mind with what LOL USA would be like. And I just, it's going to be like Bert Kreischer. And, if they had to film it today, it'd be all the cool kids. It'd be like Mark Normand, Nikki Glaser. Now, she's too cool to do it now. Robbie Hoffman will be in there. Then you need like Wayne Brady just to like randomly mix it up and sing some songs and get people to laugh on that. Someday they will make LOL USA. There's a new comedy club in New York City, the Greenpoint Comedy Club. Its opening weekend kicks off at 8 p.m. with a live comedy show followed by an opening party. We are promised some of the coolest comics in NYC. And that is your comedy news for today. Catch you tomorrow.